Hey everyone, how's it going? What's been happening? You guys been behaving? Trading well? Let me know all what's good. Pretty crazy day today with everything that's happened. Really sweepy day to be honest. Sweeped overnight high, dumped back below, overnight low sweep, consolidated around here, now back at VWAP. Another classic day to be honest. So how's everyone doing? What's been happening? You all been behaving? Doing anything exciting? Let me know how you guys are doing. Been super busy last number of days. If we can take out this level right here, we should see this continually go back up to the value area high. If we can break 28 and 3/4 here. There's a lot of liquidity up here actually, just these orders that are placed. It's not just the ghost algo, it's not very often they show their hand like this. You can see them being pressed here, right up at the value area high. So we'll see if they're going to be filled. Hey Vic, how's it going? What's happening? Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's been super busy the last number of days, to be honest. So not been streaming as much. Had some outings and events and stuff to go to. Bonds have been quite interesting. It just went straight up the last number of days. Some good ranges, which is nice. So we'll see what we can do here. We may turn off these numbers. These numbers are ever so slightly blocking the screen. Large volume indicator here. It doesn't work either. It's annoying me ever so slightly. Um, should be trans. Yes. Wow. There we go. How you doing, Max? What's happening? Okay, so NQ, where are we at with that? Is NQ miles away from POC? Is it quite big on the day? Gee, look how crazy it is. So NQ is already way above out of value, to be honest. So if we are to end the balance here, NQ should probably fade back in, just as I say that it's doing that. Considering ES is at point of control, I would suspect NQ to probably work its way back down here. So we'll see if it does, which is doing. It's not normally you see one or the other sort of whack like that. Good, mate. I'm glad you're doing well. That's what I like to hear. So I don't think there's going to be too much excitement happening for the close here. We'll see what happens for the close in the next hour or so. Currently we're right at POC, so nothing really to happen. This is the move where we broke above here back to VWAP, and now we're probably just going to bounce around. I'd imagine this is the full day POC, but this is the current session, so this will probably change to the current session POC very soon. Hey Vince. Yeah, so I have a few other things, which is mainly just for correlations. So I have things up like the dollar. I have yields up as well normally. That's from trading treasuries. But DXY is pretty important across the board. Something you should probably look at as it tends to help with the flows. Vince. So I have just standard charts in there, but I like to try and keep I like to keep what's on my peripheral right in front of me, to be honest. Because I find that when you're looking at your DOMs, you really need to be looking at the inside prints. Got a question. Is there a way to tell how big the difference is when the fills between a live and sim rhythmic prop firms are in ZP? I would say, I mean, so rhythmic, or at least through Sierra anyway, I can't talk about any others. I'd imagine it's probably going to be the same on Jigsaw. They're quite realistic. There's times where they're slightly not, and there's times that they basically mimic a live environment. Um, like sometimes if you're trading on rhythmic with prop, it's just exactly the same as live. Like if you go and put an order out, like say for example, we'll just scroll down here so it doesn't change. So say there's 258 here in live. If you go and put a bid here, right, you're joining the end of the queue, right? It's the same. It's the same in prop as well. It's only sometimes in prop where, like on the 30 year or whatever, it's certainly not any It's certainly not any better anyway. Put it that way. Obviously, live is going to be a slightly a little bit harder, but it's not like there's a massive difference. Um, and the reason being is Sierra has a built-in cue position with rhythmic as well. Obviously, prop firms have to have that because this is dumping pretty hard here, which is no bid. See that again? It sound like a broken record. Hey Alex, how's it going? So I could just to reiterate that, Max, it depends on what it depends on which prop firm you're using, depending on which platform you're using as well. There's the offer now been slightly pulled. It depends on that, but the general fills on a rhythmic with Sierra are pretty realistic. There's a few times where you'll maybe get a slightly better fill, but it doesn't happen that often, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, tell me, to be honest, mate, if you trade bonds and there is a prop firm that doesn't have realistic Q positioning, they must get absolutely hammered. Do you know what I mean? Because you just wouldn't. Can you imagine on like the 10-year not having realistic fills for prop? It would be fucking ridiculous. So yeah, it's pretty realistic, sadly. TPO profiles for this week are something else, or are you tripping? Uh, what for this week? This is pretty standard. I mean, we quite a big down day. Then we for 2 days of balance. I mean, these are pretty straightforward. To be honest with you, like today, we're just pretty much we've went out of balance, back in balance. The market's really liking this area, the 30s sort of area. The last couple of days, it's where the most volume's been carried out. You can see this high volume node as well. Market's rejected this area. Wait, what? Can you send me a video of that, please? Can you do that for me? I need to see that to believe that. If you could do, that'd be great. I don't know, film it your phone or something and ping it to me. That'd be swell. Because if that's the case, I'm buying. Well, I can't. I've got. That's annoying, isn't it? I'm ready with Top Step. Mm, let me know what the script is for that. That'd be good to see. If that's the case, I mean that's just there to be. They need to patch that, surely. Or does just the trouble is, let's be serious. No one that's trading with Top Step, apart from probably 10 people, is trading bonds. Do you know what I mean? And I'm one of them. I've traded bonds with them for a long time, months. Wait, what? How can it what? You're not trading with Top Step X, and it's not allowed, sadly. On so it gives you instant fills, but it's not allowed. How does that work, mate? Like, so you're not allowed to trade bonds with Top Step X or what? In the Beba trading practice, trading the only one with the great Q are not allowed. Right. Yeah, Vicky, are you like we're talking about the Top Step X platform here though, right? Well, here's the thing though, you don't need to go for one tick. You can go for like three because a lot like are we are you saying because you know what happens in treasuries a lot, right? You know, it'll like go down here, then it'll lift up and it'll maybe tick literally hit one contract into here. If it hits one contract into here, are you honestly getting filled on that? Or right, yeah, rhythmic is realistic as it gets. It's not far off real. Couple, as I said earlier, there's a couple of times where you maybe get something maybe a little bit favourable. Uh, but to be honest with you, there's nothing that's ever favourable for like your take profit. It's it's only ever favourable for you like getting into trade. Um, you know, if that makes sense. Like I've never had it on Rhythmic where like say there's 4,000 on the offer in the tens and I'm like 3,000 in the queue, roughly. Never does it trade 500 in and I get filled. Do you know what I mean? That just doesn't happen. Nice. Yeah, I'm just about to schedule another withdrawal, I think, from Top Step. Need to try and keep below the threshold there so they don't move up to live. Wow, but size come in there. I think NQ fading. I don't ever trade NQ, but fading this back down into POC is a good move. To be honest, that seems the play. It's too far out of whack for yes at the minute. But yeah, I think with a lot of these firms, last thing I want to do is go live with them. To be honest, I'd rather just if I'm going to do that, I'll just trade my own account. I don't need to go live with these firms. Apex gives me the fear with all their shenanigans as of late. I can't imagine taking a couple of ticks on bonds and then requesting a payout would be easy. To be honest, I can imagine they would be like, "Oh, give me a pint of blood, please." I think that would be a nightmare. So we'll see if NQ. I'm just going to mark this because I need to remember. I want to see if NQ can get all the way back down here to POC. To be honest, we'll just note that. Seems like the only play at the minute because you're not doing anything on ES. That's for sure. And how many ticks are you going for a day with that? Are you just like if you're specifically going for one tick, are you just loading up the size and going for one tick and then just loading the queue? Because I know you can't scale in. So say um because I remember you said you basically layer the book, right? Because you must be going for quite a lot of size or you're taking loads of trades. So you do what you basically are going with some size. Ah, you're taking a lot of trades, right? Okay. Yeah, you must be taking like 20 trades a day, roughly. Every time you're scratching a bunch, -1, +1. Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, you said you were not doing the current bid and ask, you were entering a couple of ticks below or something, if I remember correctly. Nice. Yeah, did you say, I think if I remember correctly, you said you had the volume stop where X would trigger into your price and then you would basically just instantly enter a limit with that, if I remember correctly. Which is a you know fairly decent way to do it. You either plus a tick or out a scratch, right? They would trade with the prop, yeah. Top step. Got a number of accounts with them that I trade, and I also trade a personal account as well, which is fairly straightforward. Tend to size up on the prop firms if I'm using them. The only concern I have with them is putting you live, because if you go live with them, they basically turn you into a professional, quote unquote, and then I would have to pay basically pro rata fees with more accounts, and I don't want to do that. So it really depends. If it's a slow moving day, right, and the range is horrific in treasuries, then I'm only going for a tick. If you've got a day where we're probing value area highs or whatever, and there's some room for it to go, then I'll go for a little bit more. So it just depends on the day, mate. But like if there's room to let it go, I'll go for like 5 6 ticks, to be honest. Um, But if it's a Monday, no data, nothing happening, then yeah, I'm certainly not going for any more than three ticks or something. That's for sure. Thoughts on footprint? Footprint is yeah, I mean it's good. Footprint's good. Basically, it's just a nicer way to look at imbalances. Man absorption at key levels. That's really all there is to it. There's nothing really else I can tell you. It's just a different way of looking at the inside prints, in my opinion. So I use the footprint. I use the footprint for either the 10-year or the 30-year, and it's just a nice way to see imbalances if you clear the inside prints. It's really all I use it for. And you can see where tons of buying and selling is, which again, that level may be respected. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. But in terms of executing trades solely off the footprint, no. I use the DOM for that. The thing is to take into consideration, Mike, is there's so many different tools available these days. There's heat maps. There's Bookmap. It's a heat map in itself. There's a depth of market and there's footprints. All of them are just a roundabout way to really look at the market instead of depth. The DOM. The DOM has everything in it. Yeah, exactly, Mike. I would definitely say for people getting into order flow, the footprint's a good introduction as it allows you to see the actual size that is hitting into the bid and lifting the offer. And one of the things you need to remember as well is that the price interacts diagonally. Even though if I put this here, the price when it needs to go up, it needs to lift into the next price and then hit into the next price, for example. So when you look at a footprint, it actually looks like it was horizontal each price, but at the time the market doesn't react like that. If that makes sense, it needs to pay into the next one and hit down into the next one. That makes sense. But when you look at the footprint in hindsight, everything looks horizontal, so you need to think about it diagonally. Pikey boy, how's it going? NFP tomorrow will be wild, always is. Ready for about a bazillion tick move. If it's nothing comes out that's too wild, we'll probably just end up where we were. It'll probably go one way and then go back to roughly where it was. It happens a lot. If you look at that NQ back at POC, so I use the cumulative delta calculations. But yeah, I use the cumulative delta as an important part regardless. Because if you've not been at the charts and you show up, you can have a look at the cumulative delta and see, who's in control. Is price been absorbed, or a market order is leading the way, which is important for you to take into consideration. You trade into NFP, but nothing in open during news unless, yeah, NFP. The trouble is you can't really hold into NFP because you just get smoked. The market will go both ways instantaneously. Um, and the trouble is you can't actually win if you hold into it because your stop instantly takes you out. So if there's nothing there, you'll get filled at a terrible price, and then you get out in a limit, and if there's nothing there as well, you don't get filled. So you're actually the conditions are actually terrible for your trade there. You can actually only hinder you if that makes sense. You just pick a direction for NFP and hit it. Okay, so ES is trying to move 27 and a half. Was it 28 and a half we had drawn out? Yeah, no, it's 28 and three quarters. I'm talking nonsense. So buyers need to break this, but I can't really see too much happening. All of this has happened today, and we're right at the previous day close. Sol's taken to the upside, to the downside, and nothing's really happened. Crazy. I wonder if this is going to be real here. They just flashed 300 lots here and more here. Okay, they were real. Market's bouncing off. Let's see what happens. Okay, some real two-way here. They love this price. This is not going to go anywhere, to be honest. Wow, it's crazy. That never works. Like that's something that's crazy. Um, the premise is that it'll break the high, and if it breaks one way, then you'll be good to go. But NFP is so whippy that you just get ruined. Sure is, Pikey boy. Oh wow, it just really popped up above that. I missed it. It's too busy reading the chat. I just missed this huge pop. We must have seen some stops take there to pop up above here. Yeah, that's a crazy strategy to just put a like a buy stop and a sell stop or something above like the ranges, and then you just get smoked on both. So in essence, you're just locking in your loss pretty much in between the buy and the sell. Nightmare. Yeah, it's a nice little pop. I missed it to be honest. But yeah, when we popped above here, they've probably seen some stops triggered because it's the last little swing point of this range, and it's been in this range for about an hour, roughly, in here. And then we just drive it right back in the range. Classic bullshit. NQ does look like it wants to go though. But if ES gets back down to POC, yeah, I mean that could be a good idea. Good idea, Bike Boy. It definitely will throw a massive wick in one direction. It always does. Go to a place instantaneously when it comes out. Take loads of stops, then it'll reverse. It always does. And that's where it gets people who think you can just place buy and sell stops at levels because you get ruined. Yeah, that's a good point for that. I mean, crypto, you're basically only trading because it's 24/7, right? So you've not really got any session times. I suppose you could probably do like it really moves in Asia time, whatever that is for you. If you're in Europe, when it's Asian time, the market tends to move a lot for crypto. You should probably do where you should probably do it where like the largest exchanges are, like when whoever are the largest exchanges, whatever time zone they're in, you should probably look at that if that makes sense. It's probably a way to do it. Yeah, I mean his commissions is too much for that, mate. Commissions is a killer. especially when you're scalping. Like people don't think about that enough. Yeah, I think trading Bitcoin would be enough. Maybe Ethereum at a push. I think scalping like altcoins would be crazy. Yeah, I really don't like crypto is crypto is a buy and hold asset class in my opinion. Just put your money in, no leverage, and hold it for 2 3 years. Pick a good coin. That's it. Don't go into these stupid scammy ones or whatever. Just do your research and make sure the team that's behind it, because you know everyone likes to complicate crypto like it's some massive technology. Maybe Bitcoin, Ethereum is right, but the other ones not really. It's just a sophisticated way for them to raise money. Instead of issuing shares, they're issuing tokens. So it's no business like anything. It's just a business like anything else. Just a slightly different capital raising venture for them. So you need to do your research and due diligence into the who the team is. You know, see what companies have had in the past, things like that. And also, it goes without saying, right? If you hold any crypto, like do your research into what exchange you put it in. You know, if anyone had actually read Celsius and FTX as well, FTX maybe the US slightly different, but if anyone had ever read Celsius terms of service or terms of conditions, it literally said if you use part of our, part of our lending program, you basically give us all your money. It's no longer yours. We can invest it how we like. So you need to, if you can, it's better to try and put it on a, take it away from exchanges because then it doesn't matter what happens to anything, it's yours. It's on your own hard drive. Maku, thank you very much, buddy boy. You're my new hype man. For that, thank you, dude. Helps with the YouTube malarkey. Right, let's see if we can take out this level. If we do pop a roo here, right, what is that? 5 18s. So 18, oh, we've already, okay, that's a weird line. Did not mean to do that line. Horizontal line, 18s here. Right, if we can pop below this level, we should see some stops trigger. They should be triggering right now. Hit it. There we go. There we go. Now, are they going to absorb and do what they did before and then drive it right back in like they did up here? mm, honestly. ES is just such a mean reverting market. It's bananas, you know. Despite this is the thing, what I find crazy is a product that's designed to go up, right? And if you just buy an S&P ETF and hold it for the next 10 years, you're guaranteed to make money, right? But trading it intraday is a completely different ballgame. You can't just buy it. Do you know what I mean? It's so sweepy. Typically same prices are revisited. It sweeps and reverses a lot, reverts back to POC a lot. You know, yet buying and holding it seems to work a charm. I know. I think that you've got tons of other ways you can day trade. I think you should just buy and hold crypto. To be honest, I think keep it simple. It's already volatile enough without adding in leverage. It's just bananas. I mean, crypto moves like 10% a day sometimes more than that. Like a good day if you look at crypto and you're like, it's up 1%. Boring, you know? ES moves like 2-3% and people are losing their marbles. Oh, really? God, I've never been involved in a single scam in crypto, not once. That's because I don't buy meme coins, to be honest, or anything like that. I just pick one that has got a good team and it's been going for a couple of years as well or something. Andre, how's it going? Quick question: is your volume profile membership a complement to your YouTube playlist? Sorry. Good evening. Is your VIP membership a complement to your YouTube playlist, or does it include a different playlist for beginners? Thanks. Andre, no. So everything is free. Um, I really need to think at some point of trying to monetize things, to be honest. I cannot operate a model at the moment. If I provide you value and you learn things, then you can donate to support the channel. And I find it quite difficult to teach a specific strategy because um, trading is extremely discretionary. It's not like um, I have one, X, Y, and Z happens, then I buy, for example. A lot of it depends on, you know, just a number of different varying factors that would take you a long time to learn. So I do offer a mentoring setup, which really drills down into your numbers, um, to help you refine your edge and things, which is like a call, but I don't really teach a specific strategy. I think it's bad practice, to be honest. Um, it's not going to be, I'm never going to become the setup like ICT where I just tell everyone here's a sweep of a level, and there's an algo that comes, so press buy or something. Do you know what I mean? And I'm being quite, being quite harsh with that, but it's the way that I see it is if stuff could be super, super mechanical, you would just get it coded or algorithms are already doing it. So the discretion and skill set that you have as a trader is better than the algorithm, you know, but it takes a lot of time to develop that. Yeah, I could mate, but then the trouble is I use Sierra Charts, right? They don't have an affiliate program. Um, I've got a couple of other affiliate links to some stuff, but doesn't really do anything. Um, so really, I need to just really simply rely on the community in essence to fund it. Because seriously, the videos and stuff that I put up on YouTube and all of the monetization stuff, last month it made 50 quid. I mean, you know, it's not exact doesn't exactly make a ton of money. I really just do this just to try and break in a day with trading, to be honest, and build a community. That was it. It was never about, you know, any sort of financial gain with it as a bonus. It was more just to build a community, to be honest, which I've done really well with, to be honest. There's like over 500 members in the Discord. Again, tons of value between all the guys in there, with none of it's charged. So I suppose I operate in a model of that way, and then if people want to get extra mentoring and coaching, then it's completely up to themselves. Um, you know, I don't force people to do that or anything. If they feel that they're at a specific stage of trading that they can take to the next level, then happy days. Yeah, but I don't use Jigsaw, Max. That's the trouble. Like I'm not going to recommend a platform to people I don't use. You know what I mean? You know, and also my reputation means more than recommending a shit platform for $5 or something. Do you know what I mean? I don't ever want to get people, and plus Jigsaw's expensive. You have to buy it as well. So I think you get. I think for you going and spending like 500 quid, I think you know as a commission I would make $25 or something. What's the point? You know? Yeah, thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, another thing is as well. I just don't want to do. I don't want to turn in this channel to turn into uh, look at the new deal Apex has. It's now 80% off, and then I have to shill something. You know, that's the last thing I want to do, man. Um, I probably should because everyone's trades prop. I probably should do that, and people would use it. But I just, I hate the idea of the community going to some prop firms and then they don't get paid or some nonsense happens, and I was the one that referred them in, to be honest. And I don't even know what the commissions are for this. I think, if you're to recommend Apex, you'll maybe make what, 15%? 15% at $20, is like a fiver. I need to have, you need to be having like trades with Matt and Patrick Whelan levels of followers to do that. And plus, order flow is relatively niche as well. I mean, probably only 10% of traders actually use order flow in retail. They're all too busy doing other stuff. So, I know I need to have an idea of how you guys need to have a think as well about the membership side on YouTube of how we can use that in a way that provides people extra value um, to people while me being able to essentially charge and make revenue from it, to be honest. Because this YouTube industry is basically built on prop firm affiliations at the minute. I don't know if you guys have clocked that, but you go on to every single streamer who probably can't even trade and are not even profitable, and they're just hammering um, prop firm affiliate codes down your throats. You know? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Alexander. But just to summarize on that, Andrew, no, you can all the stuff in the playlist is there. Um, I put out more videos for that. I'll need to I need to do a video, I think, soon. I didn't do one last week, so I try to do one once a week, to be honest. But If you can imagine, it's quite hard to say the same thing twice, to be honest. I don't know, Max. I think this is the thing. I need to decide the direction of the channel, to be honest. I didn't set this out to be a prop firm Schiller, to be honest. So, um, you know, because here's the problem with that, right? The problem is I'm then incentivized to recommend that prop firm, whether it's shit or not. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I would rather provide trading for what we're actually doing here, and then people can actually ideally trade their own personal accounts and not trade prop. Make enough money where you can then open up your personal accounts and siphon some money in there, and you don't have to do all this nonsense hoop jumping and loads of stuff that factors it all in. But something I need to decide as well, and um, yeah. James boy, how's it going? Jengi, what's happening? How you guys doing? Alive and kicking? But you guys need to have a think and let me know if there's any extra value I can provide for you and how we can basically scale up. I've been saying for a while to get this, if people become members on YouTube, I'll get like cool little stickers you can put in the chat. But then it comes to the back of my mind, we're not kids. Do you know what I mean? Would you guys like to have, I don't know, cool order flow stickers that you can press and stuff? Is there a point to that? Is that cool or not? I don't know. I think to be honest, I just operate the model of if people provide get value from it, then happy days. Then they can donate something, and it's if at the end of the day, that's the easiest way I could see it to be done. To be honest with you, this is gradually grinding its way down. I was expecting more of a pop right here, so we've seen 200 absorbed in the offer. Let's see if they can bang it through. We should be expecting a little bit of a sweep through here to maybe go back down to previous day low. We'll see if we can hit it. Well, that's what I was thinking, Vic. A cool little like mini dom and a little bear head and like a little offer and bid stickers or something. I was thinking about that. That'd be quite cool. I could get them created. But then you guys need to become members to do that. Because I think there is only like one member. So it doesn't really incent. Oh, there we go. There's the Poparoo. What's happening? We should see this go down to this little high volume pocket here at like 11s. Yeah, here. It's kind of 11s. This one right here, 9 3/4. We should see this right here. This is this high volume node here. So we should probably see the market bounce if we can pop through it. Yeah, nice. I suppose here's the thing. I need to ultimately, create the stickers or whatever for you guys to be able to use them, and then you need to become a member in order to use them. So I don't have anything set up like that, which I need to be honest. There we go. There's the Poparoo. Let's get down to 9 3/4 down. Yeah, here. Let's draw this. We're popping right through because this is the lower volume portion of the day. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see, we're going to right through it. We're right through it. Wow, look at this go. This is just absolutely shitting itself. Holy smokes. Something happened here. There's just no, wow. Trading hacker, what do you mean spammy? That is some move there. How much was that? And that's 72 ticks in five minutes. That is a move. Right down into the value area low as well and straight back up. Do you think they crack O's? You mean down here? That was some move, man. I suppose though that we were going right through this, with the lower volume area back down, so this is a double distribution day. Yeah, nobody's interested there, that's for sure. Absolutely banged right through that. You actually saw that the with the market coming in there, look at the way down here, right? Just absolutely no bid. And that you can see that in the delta, right? To get this move all the way down here, look at the amount of selling. There is literally none. 29, 21, 61, 16, 14, 3, 11. Just look at the lack of selling to get down here. There's literally nothing. And then we did get down here and we saw a little bit more selling at the time, a little bit of defense where it went down and back up. And then we've cracked down here. But just crazy. Just the bid just cancelled there. No problem, Andrea, buddy. No problem, mate. Right down into the point of control. This point, the point of control of the regular trading hours is such an important piece. And now if we can get back up here, I wonder if we're going to fill this out, um, or we're gonna fill out this area, or we'll maybe go back up towards VWAP, to be honest. But that was just crazy. And this is what's interesting when you see it with order flow, how the markets move through here. Is just no real, just the bid just cancelled. Yeah, exactly. It'd be interesting um to see what happens with the jobs number, where we actually go. It's been quite a bearish week so far, to be honest. If we let's put this in full. full flow. So the market is extremely, as you can see, really traded out this area here, you know. So if we start to break down here, where was that ridiculous? I mean, that really, really down day that we had? The market just went straight bid. But this area has just been really traded out. You can see here by the volume, the large volume profile here. So there is certainly a lot of room to go down, especially from like, let me just draw it from say here to like down here. You know, there's certainly a lot of room. Um, but typically, you know how ES likes to work. You know, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, tomorrow, then, you know, we go back up and we basically end the week almost where we began. That happens a lot of the time because if we do crack this level, you know, there's not a whole lot of volume down here to help it. There's some here, but if we crack 50s here, then it's got quite a long way to go down, you know, which I think is just something to note. Um, But with ES, with it being so mean reverty, I wouldn't be surprised if it just goes bid back up into this high volume nodes. Um, but I would like to see us break down here. That's what I'd like to see. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, trader, exactly. But the hacker, the thing is, mate, is so. I mean, if you go onto any streamer right now, any one of them, from small to the biggest ones, they all promote prop firms. You know, Um, and I just never wanted the channel to be that way, if I'm perfectly honest with you, man. Which I hope you guys appreciate. Maybe at some point we, ugh, I don't know. I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze, to be honest with you. Mhm. Similar to the first week in August. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I don't really like to trade NFP day, to be honest with you. I just don't feel there's any real direction and flows. So what would be really cool to see would be if we can somehow get past POC here, sweep this level, and then work our way back up. I think that's a little too ambitious, to be honest with you. Hey Mikey boy, how's it going, dude? Been a while. What's been happening? You still working offshore, dude? Are you back on the land? What's happening with you? So what'll be interesting here is if we can break above this 9 and 3/4, as it's been used now as the new level to break. Be interesting if we can essentially break above this level because we've now got from where this yellow line is at 18s to the 9 and 3/4 is this lower volume area. As you can see, there's tons more volume in here. So if we do crack above here, we may get that initial pop back up to VWAP. Just clear these inside prints, clear delta so you can see it more. Here's a link for anyone that wants to support the channel. Much appreciated. It's pinned for you. Back on Monday. Can't wait to get back. The bonds. Lanzarote on Thursday, so full on time home. There's your trading. Nicely done. Yeah, it's been okay, mate. Had a for August, an okay August. For been summer months. Bonds is really good to start the week. There's been quite directional flows. Slew of news happening. There we go. There's a pop right back through here because of the lower volume area. Let's see if there's going to protect imbalance at 18s if we get there, or are we just going to fill this out? Noting these lower volume areas and volume profile is extremely important for the session. Are you going for a week or 10 days, Mike? Or are you going for the full two? Honestly, man, if you're going there, dude, and you've been spending some time in some Aberdeen and whatnot, geez, you forget what sun looks like. So screw taking the laptop, but plenty of beer, pool, some good food. Enjoy yourself, man. Last thing I would be doing would be trading if I was on holiday, mate. But then the thing is, I look at screens too much, so you can let me know when you're back and you're back in land if you need any help with anything. Just the way it was the sun. Yeah, exactly. I'm like a snowman over here, especially being in Scotland. Jeez, oh, don't. I think it was I was down in London, right? So I went down for a couple of days. It was work related, so I went down, and when I was down, obviously it was a nice day, beer garden for a couple of beers, and I'm not joking. There was more sun that day than I've seen the whole in Scotland, and I actually I got a bit of a tan for being in the sun for like a couple of hours. Ridiculous, shocking. All you guys in Europe, you should count yourself lucky. Climate is shocking in certain parts of the UK. Oh, really, Mike? Jeez, oh. Yeah, well, the only thing I can say, mate, if you're feeling like that, dude, there we go, right back up to 18s. Let's see if it protects this imbalance, or are we just going to go and fill out this area? Key inflection point right now, 18s. This is where the pop happens. This has been quite good flows today. And what I would say, Mike, if you're going through that, is make sure and control your risk, because typically when you're feeling that way, the market typically humbles you quite quickly. Just the way the world works, sadly. So control your risk for sure. AL, you need to have MBO data. So I don't know what platform you've got, mate. So you need to be using either Denali data feed or Rhythmic, to have your that has MBO capability, and then you need to have Sierra Charts package 12. Then you need to configure it. You need to add the columns to the DOM, and you need to then set your minimum market by order quantity. I've actually got a video that covers it. I think I cover it on the DOM video, the one it's how to configure the DOM. It's in the playlist. It's in the description of the video. Got Sierra. Yeah, so if you watch go to the playlist, mate, and it's yeah, you need to basically add it to the DOM and stuff, right? There's a number of settings you need to do it. Yeah, you need 12. You need 12. It's not very much more expensive, to be honest. If you've got full level 2, I think it's maybe an extra MBO. It's definitely worth the money. $15 is nothing. A couple of coffees. Yeah, share the DOM, mate. If you want to go into the Discord, I think it's pinned in the Discord. This is exactly what you're seeing on the screen. It's yeah. Yeah, so this column basically just shows you large orders that are waiting. I have mine filtered to 50 and above, so you can see 54, 54, 54, 50. There's an actual true 153 in here. Now there's a ghost algo that's been popping up. This has been here now for like 3 months, I think, maybe 11 weeks or something like that. Where it's just a volatility algo where it's just distorting the book. So if you look at any heat maps, so this is ruining the heat map now. Thanks, mate. Glad you like it, dude. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog. Hit the subscribe button. Try and help out the channel. See if we can get to 2,000 subaroos. To be fair, we've not actually been doing that for that long, guys. I mean, what? We've it doesn't feel that long ago that I was streaming to everyone and we had like 300 subs, and now we've got like 1,600. So it's been pretty quick, I think. I don't know how quick YouTube channels grow, to be honest with you, but it's definitely been good. I don't know if, and I've not done any advertising anywhere. I don't like post on Twitter or Facebook or any of that nonsense. I just top on the stream. I'm not. That not that heavy into marketing, to be honest. So I suppose it goes by word of mouth. So the more that you guys spread and assist, I suppose the better it helps. Been training this for a long time, mate. Um, long time. I would say that the main thing that you need to take into consideration with this, if you're new, are you new to OrderFlow, or like have you been doing this for a while? Like maybe if you, or you only been doing it for a couple of months? Yeah, I'm based in Scotland. Yep, based in Scotland. This is certainly moving the market, isn't it? It's really trading out this. Well, it's not really a lower volume area now, but we're certainly seeing some ranges in between the previous day low and the VWAP area. Nicely done. Yeah, Cammy's a sound dude. He was actually one of the first dudes I mentioned me when I didn't have any subs at all, so it was much appreciated from his end. He's a great guy. I think his trades order flow well, which is great. Um, so yeah, which is good. I don't really know who else has mentioned it. If there's been the other ones, I don't know if there's been any other guys. If you know of any other guys that have mentioned, please do let me know. James Boy, no. So these are both studies. The volume profile is a study, and this is a delta study. I have a hotkey enabled so that I can reset the delta, which resets to the last minute. And you can set the time, the thresholds for this. For the DOM, I have the full day session, so it resets at the start of a new session, the start of a new day, I should say. Exactly, Mike, and that's that is the reason why I created the channel. I would honestly say that 90% of the shit on YouTube is just absolute guff. I mean, I did that video on ICT, right? And you see all the comments. I mean, people are absolutely hating that, you know. Um, and if you ever notice that if there's so many different mentorships or different styles of these trading, and they change over the years, right? Like there's more and more things to add, and it gets to the stage with that trading style that within it that eventually one of them is going to work. And people say that, oh, you're not doing the concepts and stuff correctly and things, but the guy's basically showing you this is what a sweep is. It sweeps a level and takes some orders and then reverts back in. I mean, it's not exactly reinventing the wheel, you know. And that's the thing. The trouble is that people spend years looking at that stuff. Regardless, it doesn't need to be ICT or whatever. It could be Wyckoff or Fibonacci levels or any of that nonsense. Um, well, it's not saying it doesn't work, and that's the problem that people seem to think because one trader is profitable, then they're like, you're just, there's other ways to trade. Why is there so much why is there so much volatility coming right now? We're not even um. So I'm getting sidetracked here. There's so many different ways to trade. Just because one person's profitable doesn't mean that tons of other people are going to be. You know, And typically, people that are in tune with the market and in tune with order flow, they've got a much higher probability of being profitable because they're actually getting to see when the true size comes into the market. That's the difference. And I don't care if you're using Fibonacci levels, if you're using fair value gaps, if you're using, two flies running up a wall. I don't really give a shit. If you're able to call a level and then confirm it with order flow coming in, you're going to have a higher probability for your entries and exits than you are for not using it. As an example, this level when it went down here, it's interesting to know that there was not any real selling coming in. It was just the bid was being pulled. Do you know what I mean? So that's context. Yeah, exactly, Mike. Yeah, everyone has a puts a donation to the market. That's for sure. Yeah, exactly, Mike. And that's really it as well. I never, eh, I've not done this for years and years and years of ever go to YouTube to look at specific strategy. The curve fit things to just make it, to make it look good or whatever. You know. Yeah, exactly, Mike. Exactly. But his stuff is, it's got the most weirdest names ever. Um, and there's so many. It's so complicated as well, but not in a good way. You know, that's the thing. People come in here and they look at this because they see loads of numbers. They're like, this is far too complicated. But it's really not. We're not looking at every single number on the chart. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard for people to kind of get that. You get your value area high, value area lows, inflection points in the chart, previous day high, previous day lows. The lower volume areas, market likes to bang through them. You want to see some size coming in. You want to see how correlations are working. I mean, it's not that. And also depends on what the session's like. You know. So if the market was to go all the way down here, the chances of this continuing to break through here without reverting back to POC is pretty unlikely. And you just know that by doing this for a while. And also we're 3.5k delta in a day, so there's not that much business that needs to be done, in the next 15 minutes. So we'll probably range around VWAP to potentially, the value area low down here. I need to make a note of that, dude. You found me via Doctor Strangelove. Excellent. Well, tell him I said hello. I've got no idea who that may be. I'll need to check. If he had done it, yeah, and that's exactly it, Mike. I mean, the thing is, if you notice the streams, when you actually go in it with being objective, he's got that many damn lines in a chart. Um, that if one thing happens, he can say that was buy side liquidity, that was sell side liquidity, and it's then look where it's went. It's went off one of my 15 lines I've got drawn in the chart. You know, it's like if then happens. Do you know what I mean? He's not specifically calling any moves. Or say the market's in a huge uptrend, right? It's going to go up to this level. You know what I mean? It's yeah, bonds are so much easier to trade. Like when they go, they go. That's the thing. It's been quite a wild last 20 minutes, isn't it? Exactly, Trader Boy. That was the thing. I put out that setup showing that how much the gaps fail and stuff. Of course, he's got an inverted. Of course, he's got one that. um, but yeah, and I suppose this is the whole point of it. The thing is, well, it's not just about the fair value gap though. You need to take into account context. But have you ever, been in a say public forum or Discord or whatever the case may be, and people are like, oh, there's a fair value gap in the 15 minute. Right, great. You know what I mean? No one ever says there's a fair value gap in the 15 minute, but do you need to take into account the specific context that is there? What's the sentiment of the day? No one ever says that. They just say, oh, there's a fair value gap. Yet they fail 73% of the time. If something fails 73% of the time, there's a 23% edge that you can, in essence, just short that through it or long through it or whatever the case may be. Nice done. Andrea, yeah, I don't trade London session. No, I only trade regular trading hours. Um, yeah, I just don't. Honestly, I've messed around with pre-market for many years, and it ends up just being net zero. To be honest, I end up just pissing myself off for the regular trading hours. Um, this is definitely looking like it's going to go. There is certainly some absorption here on the offer right now, and the bid has been pulled. Yeah, I'm typically done by lunchtime, but I don't really trade ES at the moment. I used to trade it a lot when it was thicker, but not as much anymore. I just find it a slightly different style. You really need to like pay attention to volume profile, spot absorption over 4 or 5 ticks, pay attention to sweeps, and note your key levels on ES at the minute. It's completely different. No huge size is coming in really into the inside prints. It's just tons of little, 1 to 5 lots aggressively hitting. Wow, just as I say that. But that's probably not even some exact size. It's just tons of small orders that are hitting. So it's completely changed the way it was, but that doesn't mean it's not tradable at all. It just is a different eye. And I prefer slower, thicker markets where you've got more time to sort of chillax. The reason why, Vince, is because I trade bonds, so I trade the 10 year and the 30 year, more the 10 year, and I've got 6 DOMs up, and I'm really focused on trading. So I can't. It's not possible to watch all of that, listen to news wires, make notes on the data that's coming out, um, note my levels, speak out loud. It's not possible to do that in stream, in my opinion. So I do it in the PM where I'm typically done trading, and it's like it's nearly 9 p.m. my time. So I'm exhausted, and there's no danger I've got the mental capacity to be executing at this time. So that's typically why. And to be honest with you, bonds are not and notes are not the most exciting thing to stream because some days you're in a 20 tick range. If you go to the bond right now, all this is happening and the market is moving on ES, but you go to the bonds and it'll probably be in like a 4 tick range or something. Maybe not even 2 ticks. So that's the reason where and I prefer to have it where we're streaming people we can ask questions, we can chat, we can hang out. Um, because when you go into other people that stream and they take trades, they're not watching depth of market or anything. They're not really, they're just saying, this is an untested wick, let me hit there, or the market's overextended, let me buy, or whatever the case may be. Do you know what I mean? There's not anything super sophisticated. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the way they're trading. It's just, um, I can't answer questions and do all at the same time. No problem, Mikey boy. Good luck. Andrew, yeah, yeah, exactly, mate. That's the trouble. He's thought this fails too much. Let's just make it an inverted one. Oh gosh, honestly, it's like every single possible failure that happens, we'll just call something else, you know. So it's almost like that specific setup. There is so many different terms that it actually can't fail. That's the trouble, and he knows that himself. That's the thing. He's created all this for a specific way. Ladder, how's it going, dude? Just dropped through a fair value gap. All right. What's that? Is it this part? I don't even know what that is, to be honest. I know it's a part where it leaves a gap or something between the candles or whatever. I've got no idea, Vince. I've got no idea. I don't trade untested wicks or whatever. Pretty much the concept, the first retest of it will bounce. That's pretty much the theory. I've seen people do that in NQ, but to be honest, if you put a crumb in front of NQ, it will reverse. It's so volatile. If NQ gets to any form of Bollinger Band, standard deviation band, previous day high, or whatever the case, before it sweeps it, of course, it'll definitely be some movement around it, just the way it is. It's such. I mean, look at the book. There's nothing there. You could sneeze and it moves 20 ticks. Maku, can you elaborate that a little bit more? For the contrast in numbers, which you have to learn the patterns, usually, and for some it's very difficult. You prefer two lines crossing visual. Are you meaning for like stuff you're seeing on a DOM, you prefer if it was just visual, like a candlestick or something? I agree that this is why I think delta is quite important, to look at in the chart, because if you're not paying attention to inside prints all the time or delta on the chart, when you look at delta, um, as a chart, you can very simply see just, within 2 seconds if the limit or market orders are in control. Ah, right. Sorry, I should have read the part above it, Maku. Sorry. So you're basically saying, yeah, it's the technical patterns. It's much easier visually to look at it, right, rather than actually reading the numbers. But I think it's mostly the concepts and stuff around the DOM that people fail to forget. The market is just chopping through prices at the minute, isn't it? This is good. So we have nearly 30 seconds to the volume to come in. Well, the volume's already there, but we'll see some more happening. Let's see if we can go back up to 16s here. Try and close out this delta. It's just come in the last 5 minutes. 15 seconds. I was just thinking we were going to close out that delta there, to be honest. That was the reasoning, which we've done. So if I had a couple of thousand delta come in just before the last couple of minutes, which tends to be closed off, and then that's all she wrote. Now we just fluff around here. That is it. 2 minutes. I think it was really. This has been really good action here, actually, to be honest. So the question is, can we get back up to VWAP? or are we just going to fluff around? I think this potentially looks to be the area. See if we can fill out this 20s here with some size sitting. Here, we know the ghost algo is not real, but let's see if we can fill out this 50 and this area at 20s. Okie dokie, folks. Let me know if you get any other questions. I don't think there's going to be too much happening here. I want to see actually if we can take out this 20s, or they're just going to pull. Let me know if you guys have got any other questions, probably to wrap it in the next 10, because there's no volume anymore. Dropped off a cliff. There we go, 20s has been taken. Back up to VWAP. Thanks, Jamesy boy. Hopefully you enjoyed it, dudes. You guys take care, and we'll potentially be on tomorrow. Depends how the market is after NFP. I'd imagine it's going to be pretty dry. To close on a Friday, all the action will be in the AM session. Peace, everyone. You guys take care.